So let's switch to our second discussion quickly now, which focuses on not just politics and elections, but the 2023 election in particular, and how that conversations, narratives have been flying around this very big event, because whether you like it or not, some people say general election is Christmas and Salah combined in Nigeria. That's when everybody gets to put in their best, everybody puts in all the resources that they have in most cases. But one question, one concern that many persons have raised will be how that they've not seen, or maybe they've seen little or nothing, as to youth participation in the process, in the conversation, in the practical process in itself, whether it's registration to become members of political parties or vying for positions, whether at the local, state, or federal level, and so on and so forth. We've not seen all of that. Yet, ironically, we hear people talk about how that nobody gives the youth a chance. And then there is a question of whether or not you are given a chance. I mean, life is an interesting place. Who really, whether you're a youth, whether you're a woman or a man, gives you a chance at things like this? And then more importantly, we're looking at how participation of youth in the political process, in the build-up in particular, to the 2023 general election, changes the political landscape, whether for good or for bad. I understand Curtis is not a politician, basically, but of course he's interested in the process, because whether you like it or not, politics controls most of the things that we do. But I want to begin with a core politician. All right, let me begin with Cosmos. I mean, as they say, you've been there, done that. What difference does it make whether youth participate in politics or not? Is it not leadership that people are interested in? I mean, good leadership, good governance.
My brother, you just said the key thing. The essence of governance is to give good life to the people. Your security, you know, lives and property and all that. Everybody cannot be there.
Obviously.
One person has to be there, or some people have to be there. That's why people go for, you know, positions and all that. As far as I'm concerned, whoever is there, wherever you come from, so long as you do the needful, that's the one that concerns me. When people talk about youth, well, youths, perhaps if they are there, they will do well. But for now, it will be, if we want to tell ourselves the truth, it will be very difficult.
Why will it be?
That's what I'm coming for youths to grab it. The few ones who will be able to grab it are those ones who are prebends or who have prebends. They have support. Somebody is fronting them. Their parents, their uncles. There must be a political godfather somewhere who will say, I'm sponsoring you. Whatever you do, this is what you give to me. So at that point in time, discover that the youth, the person who is there, and you now say youth is expected to do this, expected to do that, becomes a panel. I mean, a channel, you know, to get something to the person who is, you know, supporting, or who has kept him there. So you now see that the youth would definitely not be able to perform maximally. That is one. Secondly, excuse me. Secondly, due to the way those who have been there and are still there, that are very old, due to the way they have carefully arranged the system, it will be very difficult for youth to be there. And I also explain a situation where how much is a dollar now to a naira? I mean, naira now to dollar. Over 500 naira, so to say. The economy has gone so bad.
That's at the parallel market, right?
Yes. The economy has gone so bad that if you want to start thinking of what to do, the first thing you start thinking of now is how to feed themselves. They call it something of needs, hierarchy of needs. You first of all feed yourself. After feeding yourself, before you not thinking of how to rent an apartment, which is shelter, not to build. Then you talk of clothing. After finish, when you finish this, before you now begin to think of how do I, you understand? By the time you get to this process, my friend, the whole time is gone. You are now moved from youth to the same old.
So and that cycle continues.
The cycle continues. So, you know, Kamal said something. He said, if the bourgeois, I want to say bourgeois, now the old people who are there, wants to, no, if anybody wants to checkmate the excesses of the bourgeois, check now the youths, not the bourgeois, because the youths are the same people the bourgeois will use to perpetuate themselves in power in that same place. So the youths are now tools, a means to an end, not an end in itself. So, and if someone comes and say, take this, do this, they go and do it. Defending the same old people that have made themselves colossus, siphoning, exploiting, expropriating the whole system. And if another youth comes out like himself now, comes out to say, we want to change the narrative, they will go after him. Not those people that are killing the system. That's true. You get what I'm saying? And these are people that some of them are even graduates. That's the unfortunate aspect of that. They are supposed to know. But because of the economy of the situation, you want to be alive first before you think of it. You have to feed.
Right.
Somebody who leaves school, for instance, maybe studied a course that is not professional. He has no money to start business. And then somebody gives him, say, take this, just, they won't do it. So because that is the situation, they make sure that the cycle continues. What does it take the government to do the needful? When I first traveled out of this country, excuse me, you know, the moment I left the airport, I was in the vehicle. My younger sister was taking me to her place. Inside the vehicle, I was moody. I almost shed tears. These our leaders come here. They see how things are done here. They have the capability to make our own look like this. They just refused. Why? And the question you ask yourself, how come these ones will refuse, others will complain? When they get there, they also refuse. Because when you get there, you know that if you do certain things according to them, certain things will not work for you. If you eliminate poverty in your place, who will now be your gardener? I'm just citing that for instance. So that's why it will be difficult for youth, because the system, they have so patterned the system now that before you get there, you have already become an old man.
Okay, I'm going to come up to you in a minute. But Curtis, a few years ago, we saw that youth started agitating for more participation, if you like, substantial participation in the political process, and that gave birth to something some persons at that time said wasn't only commendable, but was brilliant, which was the Not Too Young to Run bill. Did that change the narrative? Did it create any form of disruption in the process?
Not really, because the youth in politics on their own, they are not ready to make any difference. Their passivity in their approach in politics have not over time make any difference, and the way it stands right now, it still cannot make any difference. Like legal luminary here said, that I sometimes, when I take a retrospective view on the antecedents of our leaders back then when they started, I weep for our youth. Today, I be privileged to be amongst them. I'm a youth leader. I interact with the youths in the street, and the ideology, they've killed into the ideology of those that have mortgaged our future, so therefore they cannot do any meaningful or reasonable difference. When you are with the youth, the only thing that comes out from their mouth is how to either ring or deliver their unit, their word, or how much comes during election, how they share money amongst their boys. Those are the only thing that comes out from it. Majority of the youth in politics, in all categories. Now, I do remind them that the likes of Chief Tony Nahoro was only 28 or thereabout when he first moved a motion as a parliamentarian then for the independence of this country. Today he's been referred as the father of Nigeria state.
Was it the same Nigeria we had then as we do today?
It's not.
It is not. But why it's worsening on daily basis? Because that the youth, like I think the Plato said that because the good people shy away from politics, the bad people will continue to rule or govern us. Now, over it wasn't so. Now, why? The problem is that the same youth that would have forcefully, because it is also said that right from the days of John the Baptist, they don't survive violence. That it's only the violent that take it by force. The youth of today in politics, they are playing along with the laid down procedures or with the laid down processes in politics. And again, I was in another media channel some time ago, they asked me if I should go into politics, what difference will I be able to make? I said, yes, I will not be able to make any meaningful difference. That is the reason I have refused to go into politics. If there be any time that I want to go into politics, it will be that time when we have that independent candidacy, when we have that act that enable, or the law that enable individual to vote for political or public offices without going
through a political party's platform.
Because as it stands right now, the problem that we have, that the political ideology and the political structure consumes anybody that comes into the system with a positive mind. It automatically consumes the person. Like he said, I also make it just as a point of reference. If I am a House of Assembly, for instance, I'm in a state House of Assembly as it's called, and the bill, probably a bill is to be passed, and I vehemently refuse. What difference will I make in a place where like 20 persons or 24 persons are sitting and the only one making a difference? If I refuse, what do you think will be? Either they will find a way to impeach me or to eliminate me. Like I said, that is what plays in the politics. The youth on their own, I have not seen any. Again, I will not blame them in total, because most of them also go there to see what they can get from the national cake. That is another problem. There is an opportunity for them to also share from the national cake. And these persons that are there now, they started where they were 25, 22, 30, 28, as the case may be. The likes of our president was around 30 when he was the first military head of state. Likewise, the likes of those that are governing us today. Now, we have gotten it wrong as youth. And again, why I will not blame them in total, it is often said that evil communication corrupt good manners. So no matter how positive your mind is or your visions are, when you go into the system, it consumes you.
Okay, Cosmos, let's talk about independent candidature, or candidates, if you like. People have talked about how that's the way to go if you want expanded participation, especially as it touches on the youths participating in the process. Does that look feasible, given the kind of, to use the word of Curtis here, the pattern that we have right now?
You see, if I want to talk to you, excuse me, like a politician or as a politician, I want to be sincere. Yes, you could say independent candidate. You could have it, but to say grab government, it will be difficult, very, very difficult. Because when you talk of party has structures.
Right.
Up to the ward, the unit and all. And what they know is the name of the party. They are not even interested in the candidate.
The individuals.
So party, yes, so go and vote, they go and vote. Now, if you are an independent candidate, it is your name you are using, not the party. You go there and now begin to talk, who knows you? If you see campaigns in units, you know that Nigeria, the only thing we know is election. Everybody is campaigning, house, mosquito campaign and everything. An independent candidate, I tell you, if they put it, will just be a waste of time, resources. Because you come out, say whatever you want to say, the party that has structures will win. The way we even have it now, that you have about how many parties, it's just the same as independent, because some of these parties are known by just the founder, one person. And he goes around, does whatever. At the end of the day, he will never get up to 60 votes. You get what I'm saying? I remember some time ago, one guy came to me from abroad. I learned that you can do X, Y, Z. I have money. I want to contest for presidency. He came from US. I told him, I said, I would advise you to go and, with the money and what you are saying, staggering, go to a party, work your way towards becoming a House of Rep member. Since you say you want national. Presidency, you cannot do it. He said, no, God told me this. This is how we kind of money I have, I'll do it. I said, okay. At the end of the day, my brother got 60 votes to become president of Nigeria. 60 votes. So, you cannot, when you say independent candidacy, it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible. You cannot fight a party that has structures.
And has had those structures for years.
For years, you cannot. Just like he was talking about even the youth. How can the youth come? You say you want to become a House of Assembly member, whatever you want to be contest an office, when you have to first of all fight primaries in your party. Who will allow you to do the primaries in the first instance? No, talk of even contesting the primaries.
There are people saying that, look, there's so much of money in our politics. If we de-emphasized money, we would be in a better place to allow a pathway for the youth. But is that realistic, de-emphasizing money in this kind of democracy that we practice?
With the economic situation in this country, what people want to hear is money. Some people prepare for election. This time around, as election, I will pay my electric bills, I will pay my house rents. The day they are going to vote, whatever I get, I'll use it to do this. It's not to vote somebody. The conscience. There's no conscience for that. It is what I get from it. Let me cite an instance with your respect. Sometime in Rivers State, a good friend of mine was to contest for House of Rep. We are very close. We school together, I know that. He went to his place, he had discussed with the people, everything. They say, come, we are supporting you. He didn't know that there was something he's supposed to do that he didn't do. On that day, I say, he came to me, I joined him. Prepared, good intention for his people. And then as we were going, we got to that place, it was like a graveyard. Nobody came out, not one person. So as usual, his parents welcomed him, and I said nothing. It was not directed into one man. You will never know that man knows anything. You see, owing to the kind of house he lives. He must say, my son, sit down. That's not how you do it. Now that the person who directed you here has helped you, go and do this. You bring so amount for this, so amount for this amount, and then we'll help you. The guy went and sold his house, collected money from bank and everything. And then what happened? He went there. They gave them the money. The day he was to go, he said, Cosmos, let's go. As we're going from a distance, megaphone, loudspeaker, crowd, traditional dancers. They were all there waiting for us. When we got there, we danced, he made it say, you don't win. And he actually won the election.
Having met the requirements.
At a particular time, people were not saying that, you are not representing us well, you are not coming on. He called me and said, Cosmos, look at what these people are saying. Who disappointed each other first? You are not saying I'm disappointed you. Who disappointed each other first? I went there to do the needful. You people say you don't need the needful, that I should pay for it. I bought it. If I buy something, do I need to pay a second time? That's the jeopardy. You understand? So that is the predicament you used to have. You used to not have that kind of money to play politics. And if you remove money from politics, my dear, you can't do anything.
Curtis, let's talk about the American democracy we are told to practice in Nigeria. They say this is a brand of American democracy that we adopted. Then again, you look at the Congress in the US. I mean, look at young men, young women, some of them late 20s, early 20s, mid 30s. They're members of Congress in the US, across race, across professional backgrounds, ethnicity, and so on and so forth. Yet we are practicing this kind of democracy. Why do you have that disparity between what's obtained in the US and back home in Nigeria?
Okay. In trying to relate that of the US with Nigeria context and also his submission in all this, I would say our political advancement. I think that is what is.
It's a factor, right?
It's a factor, yeah, political advancement. And to an extent, the American democracy have developed to an extent that almost every citizen participates in politics and governance. But reverse is the case here. Like someone said some time ago, that it seems the Nigeria president seems to be, or leader seems to be the most powerful leaders all over the world, even more than the American leaders when it comes to politics. Because in America, there's an extent politicians or leaders there can go. There are things they can say and there are things they will not say. There are things the American president will say now and they will effect or they'll start an impeachment process. But here, I mean, the president can come out and say the youth are lazy, the Nigerian president can say the youth are jobless. Nobody says anything. The governor can come up one day and just wake up and just start enforcing policies that are not known to our law. Nobody says anything because the level of awareness, the advancement, we are still far behind. And again, what he talked about, fine, the money politics and all that, the youth participation, the independence candidates, the kind of politics that we play now is an ideology that over time they'll be trying to achieve that dream, the political structure. There's nothing good comes so easily. If the independent candidate, if it's enacted into law, and the youth will just need some persons who with consistency, because even when there were the foremost nationalists, we are canvassing for independent of this country, it didn't just take them a year or 2 years.
Yes.
Consistency. When there is an idea and you are working towards achieving that idea, with time it will come to pass. Fine. Now, look at the problem that we have. Like someone who have not been in politics is coming from America or anywhere, he wants to become a president of this country, which ordinarily would know, a common sense would tell you that is not possible. What stops that person? If I want to go into politics today, even if it's going to take me 10 years to start playing politics or want to be participating in politics, I mean, what stops me from going to my village or going to my ward as a councillor? If I'm well known to my family, I'm well known to the people, I'm good to my people in my village, and my kinsmen in my village or where I reside, they knows me. When it comes to that aspect, if I'm able to sell my own idea into them, it might not work the first time, it might not work the second time, but consistency with time. If I'm able to achieve the lowest, maybe as a councillor, and I'm able to perform beyond what others have done before.
Set a new record.
I will set a new record. If I'm able to maintain that maybe for 1 or 2 administration, again, I will also go back to that same people. This I have been able to do. Now, also give me another opportunity to also go to. With that, with time, we'll be able to achieve it. But the problem now, a child who have not even started crawling, want to get up and start walking, or even want to start running, it is not possible. So I have the belief that if we adopt this independent candidacy and we see those that are those good people, those that are with a good and positive ideology and with consistency with time, when the struggle, the apartheid struggle in South Africa did not take 1 day, the emancipation of the black race in America did not take a day. It takes several decades. Right. Even those who had the ideology died in the process, and some other persons continue. Today, the man that said, I have a dream that one day the black man will rule the world, he died before that dream came to pass. But he was able to inspire many of us in the black race.
He initiated the process.
The process, and with consistency, a time will come that the process or the idea or the dream.
Let me talk to you about process and customers before we take a break now. People have talked about how that President Barack Obama had done a lot of civil society work, had done volunteering at community level, he had gone from house to house to just add value, make positive impact in the lives of people, especially the elderly and those who are disadvantaged, either socially or economically. And he rose through the ranks all the way from the local assembly in his home state of Illinois, all the way up to becoming the U.S. president in 2008. But a lot of persons also say back here, conversely, what you have is a situation where somebody just, for want of better words, falls through the cracks of the sky and he says, I want to be the governor, I want to be the president, I want to be a member of Senate, maybe because he has made some money in Europe or somewhere in America, and so on and so forth. Do we believe in process as it has to do with politics in particular?
The truth is, going to what has been happening, if somebody, first for me, I won't even be surprised to see that he's the essence of my brother is to become
the president
tomorrow or government. But you see people in Nigeria these days going to tar roads, do this, just know that something is waiting for you somewhere. It's not like abroad. There's ideology, and they are progressing. Unfortunately, here I wouldn't want to say it's like you see things retrogressing. You understand? In the US that we're talking about, there's independent candidacy. But not one has ever ruled. Because it really does not work. You understand? You see here of the only 2 major parties, the other parties there. So back to what we're saying. All these processes, when people start doing processes, buying books, paying school fees for people, something different. So nobody will believe them anymore. Yeah. To what has happened before. And when you come, you say, I want to contest for councillor, from councillor to this. Before you get to where you're going to, because there's zoning, you know, I'm talking politics here. There's zoning, there's a whole lot of things. Yeah. Maybe before the zoning will get to you, it will have been 90 years, 100 years. So what people look at here is, this is what I'm going for. How much do you have? You have the money, you go to the party, you share the money with them. You manipulate the primaries and you get what you want. So it is not good, because there's no actual party ideology. People are non-conscientized. The major problem is hunger. A man who is hungry wants money.
So he's not likely going to be rational about his decisions.
At all. Some people have seen a hungry man. No, I wouldn't want to go into that. When I was in school at the University of Calabar, a friend of mine came to my room one day and looked at me and said, "You know what?" He said he saw a dog feasting. I don't know what to say what he's feasting on. The dog was feasting on. He said, "You know, I started admiring that dog." I said, "Why?" I said, "That dog is eating. For almost 2 days now, I have not eaten." You understand what I'm saying? That's the extent of poverty that is in this country. Such a person, if you say, "Go and vote for me, take this money," well, you say just that, or is there more I should do? So the economy is the whole issue, and those who are in charge of the economy are deliberately doing what they are doing, because you know that if the economy is improved, you won't have these people to do all this.
Okay, I think that's what we're leaving it so far. We're going to take a break now. When we'll come back, my guests, both of them, will still be here. We'll take a few calls from a handful of our viewers just to expand the narrative a little before we tie it up all together on the program this morning. So we're back right after this break. Stay with us.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thank you for staying with us on the program, everyone. This is the last lap of our discussion, so we want to give you a chance to weigh in on the conversation, right? That number will be on your screen in a minute, 052-257-7803. All right, we'll put it on the screen for you in a minute, so you can call. But please do something for us. Turn down altogether the volume on your TV set. That way we'll have any interference with the audio on the call. Then you call in, tell us your name and where you're calling from, and that'll be it. Let me talk to you, Cosmos, quickly about the structure of political parties. I may not know how feasible it will be, but there are people who argue very vehemently that if we can restructure political parties, all right, in such a way that there's transparency, there's fairness, there's level playing field, as it were, it will make it much easier for young people to come into politics. But again, the optimism that comes with that is when you hear people talk about how that most of these political parties are driven by money, and that becomes a problem. So how do we create a balance and move forward?
You see, when you talk of structure of political parties, you have the unit, you have the ward, you have the local government, you have the senatorial, you have the state.
Right.
This is how you have the structures. How do you make it visible? If, for instance, you want an office there, you contest. It's all population, number. If you're able to, win votes from people around,
Yes.
you win. But if those people around are those people that are after money, you don't have that kind of money, you lose.
Let's take a quick call now. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, hopefully that person will call back. Hello, good morning. Okay, just call the number 052-290-573 is on your screen, and then we can take your calls this morning on the program. But please be sure that you turn down altogether, completely, the audio on your TV set so we can have a smooth conversation. Hello, good morning. Yeah, please turn down the audio on your radio. Or your television. Yes, turn down the audio on your television, please. All right, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm Mr. Fine. I'm calling from Tuluguru.
Okay, what's your contribution?
I want to talk on the position of the government of the state with regard to open grazing law.
Okay.
I think, according to the discussants, the second and the Cosmos, I think they were very right. Because Hamilton attended the meeting at Asaba. We all believe that the Southern governors went there with one mind and would have agreed to do the needful as agreed. But discovering that our governor here is taking a different step, which is not the right thing to do. Then the other speaker also talked about treading with caution. I don't think governor should tread with caution because you have the constitution that will guide you as a compass. A man that is pulling a plane is being guided by a compass. So every leader, they are being guided by the constitution. So there's no need for government to tread with caution, or rather, take the bull by the horn to defend your people that you want to defend. I think that is my take this morning.
Thank you, my brother from Silicon Road. We appreciate it. Okay, so let's keep those calls coming through before my guest here will respond quickly. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, please turn down the audio on your television quickly. Thank you.
No.
Yes, we can hear you all right. What's the name and where are you calling from? Okay, I can still hear your TV in the background and it doesn't work that way. Please turn down the audio. Turn down the audio on your television. Hello, good morning. Hello, are you there? Okay, hopefully that person will call back. Let's see how we take another call now. Hello, good morning. Yes, please turn down the audio on your radio, on your television set. Hello, are you still there? Okay, I think we lost that one too. Hello, good morning. Yes, welcome to the show.
I'm coming
All right, so where are you calling from?
from Benin.
Okay, what's your contribution?
Your contribution is
Okay. I guess that was a child who probably gained access to his parents' phone. Hello, good morning.
hello.
Yeah, welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Please turn down the audio on your TV set. Can you do that for us quickly? Okay. Let's just make clear, please. Before you call, not after you would have called. Before you call, be sure you turn down the audio on your TV. The idea is simple, so benefit you. Otherwise, we can't talk. All right. So please be sure you do that. All right. Thank you. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Yeah. Please turn down the audio on your television set. Otherwise, we can't have a conversation. Okay. Thank you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Tony.
Tony from where?
Tony from Gregele.
Okay. What's your contribution, sir? Okay, I think Tony will call by the time he has his mind made up. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, let's try the last one and see how it turns out. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Advocate. I'm calling from Ecuador.
All right, go ahead and make a contribution.
My concern this morning is regard the politics in this country and that of the democracy they set up. First and foremost, that of the politics. We have seen that, to me, it's like the whole process is bastardized. A situation whereby if you don't have money, nothing can happen. Even when people are crying, or what everybody is even talking about in 2023, how to win. You don't even have to solve problems. Where are we going to get? There are a lot of people. People have saturated the entire system. So that of the guarantee is very unfortunate that the guarantee we see now, they are not honor invitation application. They are not doing the security job. You find them anywhere they are doing ceremony. That's where you see them. Except few of them who have the passion. Very extremely few of them. Thank you.
Thank you too for coming through for us on the show this morning. So let's take it back to my guest in the studio. I want to talk to you now, Curtis, quickly. 2023, which this last caller mentioned in passing, is right in front of us. The narratives are rife and people are throwing their hats in the ring already. Do you still see us doing the conventional, the old guard thing playing out again, or do you see a level of disruption this time by young people who say, look, let's take charge of our country and fix it?
Well, the election is just like, it's a procedural norm. It's a festival that we that is being held every 4 years, as the case may be. And to what we have seen so far, it's still going to be the usual way and the usual pattern. And the same people, because we've not seen recently any new persons coming into making any positive difference in the politics. So we are still expecting the same people, the same thing. And that has been the problem. We are a people that does the same thing over and over again, and we are expecting different results. It's not always like that. Now, there have been issues of zoning which the zoning is issue that have to be with the moral aspect of it, because the Constitution only talked about federal character when it comes to giving an appointment. So the Constitution did not provide for zoning.
They say it's a gentleman agreement.
When there is an agreement, or there is an agreement that is not provided for in the Constitution, you cannot enforce it, because we believe more in the provisions of our laws. Right. So as it stands, we also know, we already know what is playing out in Nigeria politics. So, and again, when it comes to selecting those that will represent us, the masses does not make input. It is only in a general election that the masses are made to participate or make little input, which at times is accounted for or not. At the level of selecting those that represent the political parties, it is the political leaders that decide who they project as their candidate. As such, we do not have any meaningful contributions when it comes to that, because like we have rightly discussed, the positions is for the highest bidder. So when you see a politician that have amassed enormous wealth, perhaps by embezzling the public funds and so on, rather stealing our common patrimony, they stack this money somewhere so that when the time for election comes, they also take it back to the political leaders in the way of influencing them, try to buy their conscience. So in all, we were just seeing the same old people that are mortgaged the future of the citizens of this country still coming out again to continue from where they stop. Those that are tired or that feel they do no longer have the political space will now go and bring in either their children or their loyalists to continue from where they stop. So as such, we are not expecting anything different. To an extent, we will be able to relax our mind to say, okay, anyone where they give us, we will accept, and that is how it is, because we still did not have, we cannot make any difference, we cannot make any changes when it comes to political party bringing out their candidate. But ideally, it's high time we also look at these political parties also projecting candidates from other part of the country other than not, because ideally a country that have this multi-ethnicity ought to have be doing justice to representation, to say, okay, these persons have come from the north, and another argument that the north is divided into three geopolitical zones, if I'm not mistaken. So they will say, okay, since maybe the north central, the northwest, so it's not just mainly north now. So that the northwest have or north central have produced candidates, so it's likely to also come from the northwest and other. But ideally, I think it will be good enough if the two major political parties will resolve to project candidates from other parts of the country other than, so that we also see what other region or other persons from other region also have to offer.
Cosmos, let's talk about whether or not you win an election or you even get a chance to vie for a political or an elective office. Is there a rule that says you must win an election as a young person to make an impact? We have seen young people in this country, brilliant, witty, innovative, result-oriented, making their own difference within the private sector, whether it's in tech, whether it's in banking and finance, oil and gas, education, and so on and so forth. Can we not say, yes, as a young person, I don't have whatever it takes to throw my heart in the ring, whether at the party level or the election proper? Can I also make my small difference within my sphere of influence going forward? Can we not have that kind of thinking?
Yeah, you see, in a normal society, that can work.
In a normal society?
Normal society. But in a society like Nigeria, where even the economy is controlled by government, it will be difficult to work. I'll set an instance. A young man designed an aircraft. They call it Air B2, a military man. And then prepared everything. Because it's from a particular part of the country, when it was the time to display it, they told him to go away. They brought somebody from another part of the country to come and fly it.
To do the demonstration?
The demonstration. To demonstrate it. And that thing crashed on that very day. And from what we gathered, the same person who designed it went and did some things. You understand? You see, I'm trying to tell you that, funny enough, politics controls everything in Nigeria. So even if you are a young man, we'll talk of Dangote today. as a young man, yes, he has done well, you understand? But if you go below, a lot of things took place. That if any other person had that opportunity, perhaps might even do better. You are giving his own license to produce this, you understand? So everything is anchored on government. And as such, if you are a youth, you want to excel, and you are not connected to the power that be, it might be a little difficult. A little. I wouldn't want to say it's completely difficult. There are many possible. It might be a little difficult. Because how do you raise the basis? Is it in the field of technology? If you are able to develop something that will be of benefit to the whole people, because you are not connected to this or you are not from particular, they will downplay it. I have seen a situation where people from abroad will bring things that will help the people. Somebody somewhere will say, if you don't give me this, you want to help me.
Right.
If you don't give me this, I won't light. Those things will be kept somewhere, they will get rotten and all that. It's not the same way we see things here. You want to tar road for your people. They say, come and give us money before you tar the road.
Or you're bringing a transformer.
Or you're bringing a transformer. Give us money before you put the transformer. As a young man, maybe you want to, you now give them money to, you get angry, you know. Take your transformer back. They'll be in darkness.
Is there any truth in the belief by some people that the old guard are afraid that if you leave power to these young people coming from behind them, they don't have the capacity to advance the country, they may crash it. Is there any truth in that?
It's not true. When they started, how old?
But they said the circumstances were not same then as we have them right now.
Is a country.
Are they not the ones that put us into
The situation was even worse as at that time. Because you were wresting power from people who had everything. Now you already have a country. If yours, you have independence. I tell you, it's deliberate. If we cannot remain in power, we'll make it circulating elitism. When we'll give it to our children. You understand? Finally, use that being in power. They did not just come from somewhere and by way of hard work. Somebody projected them. Either their parents, their uncles, or whatever. I wouldn't want to call names. And those ones, because people projected them, none has done well. Is it from states around our neighboring states here? No. But if we have a youth that worked himself there, you discover that he will do well. But because it has almost become impossible to do it owing to our setting, it will be difficult to get there. And if you must get there, you must get there at the behest of somebody, and you must dance to the tune of that person.
So essentially, again, that comes down to some level of godfatherism.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But I just feel basically that as a young person, no matter what you do, you probably have got to find a way to make your own difference. Whether you get a platform to run on in terms of vying for an elective office or not. Ultimately, what people want to see is the difference you've been able to make. Whether you are going to innovate a product, you are going to redefine the service landscape, or you're just going to volunteer for an agency or an organization to bring value. Ultimately, that's what people want to see, and that's the difference that everybody craves. I want to thank specially my guest of the program this morning, Cosmos Irabo. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Curtis Sogbebo, thank you as well.
Thank you very
for
much.
coming. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day. This is what we're living it with TMI this Sunday. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.